I have recently discovered that I am a dark empath. And I didn't really know what to think about this at first, so I had to do a deep dive into the energy of what a dark empath is. And here's what I want to share with you because I find this so intriguing, and there's so many dark empaths right now. What it really means to be a dark empath. First, the term dark empath doesn't mean someone is evil or bad or dark or manipulative. It simply describes a unique empathic profile where a person has strong emotional intuition and a heightened sense of awareness of the shadow, both within themselves and within others. It's not darkness as in bad, it's darkness as in the unseen, the unspoken, the suppressed, the energetic undercurrent, the truth behind people's masks. A dark empath is someone who doesn't just feel emotions, though we do that extremely deeply. We feel motives, intentions, power dynamics, and uncomfortable truths that others often miss. A dark empath has 3 core traits. 1, deep emotional sensitivity. Just like any empath, they can feel what others feel, but often even more intensely and more accurately. They can read a room within seconds and sense shifts in someone's energy even before that person speaks. 2, awareness of the shadow. This is the key distinction. A dark empath naturally perceives hidden motives, manipulation when someone is lying to themselves or others, suppressed emotions, unresolved trauma patterns, the energetic truth behind the truth. In other words, they're not afraid of the darker aspects of human nature. They understand them and they see them very clear. 3, psychological insight and boundary awareness. Dark empaths often intuitively understand how people operate, what drives them, and what they fear. If unhealed, this can become defensive or hyper vigilant, even paranoid. But if healed, it becomes a beautiful superpower for discernment and for protection. Here is what a dark empath is not, because people online sometimes paint a dark empath as manipulative or narcissistic. This is absolutely not accurate. A dark empath is not cruel, self-centered, intentionally manipulative, or morally dark. In fact, most dark empaths have an overactive conscience, not the opposite. Where misunderstandings arise is that the dark empaths see through people, and not everyone likes being seen that clearly. The gifts of a dark empath. When a dark empath is aligned and healthy, they are extraordinary beings. They're truth seers. They can sense what is real and what is out of alignment instantly. They're shadow healers. They can guide others into the parts of themselves that they avoid. Boundary keepers. They sense danger, manipulation, or imbalance faster than most. Transformational catalysts. Their presence often accelerates growth in others, even if unintentional. Deep feelers with grit. They're empathic but not fragile, compassionate yet discerning. Dark empaths walk in between worlds just like a shaman. They understand the light and the shadow, and they're not frightened by what most people deny or don't want to look at. When shadow empathy becomes a challenge, a dark empath may struggle when they feel responsible for others' emotions or reactions. They sense so much truth that it becomes overwhelming. They attract people who want healing but are unwilling to do the work. They get labeled intense or just too much. They don't yet trust their own intuition. They suppress their boundaries to avoid conflict. I've been guilty of that. The biggest wound for a dark empath is usually not trusting their own perception. Because they see so much, they often doubt themselves. But here's the highest truth about dark empaths. To be a dark empath simply means you are an empath who is born to understand the full spectrum of human consciousness. Not just the light, but the depth, the shadow, and the truth. You are not dark. You are whole. And people who can navigate both light and shadow often become the greatest healers, leaders, guides, and transformational holders, because you can walk into the places others are afraid to go and bring your light with you. So how do you know if you're a dark empath? There's 10 unmistakable signs, and I'm going to share those with you tomorrow. I look forward to it.